The Richest Man in Babylon inspired me. In the very first chapters, they really talk about how somebody that didn't have money watched those that were making money. And long story short, eventually somebody brought the guy that was making a lot of money, who they knew was struggling in life, right? They brought him through to the table and said, can you teach others that know you before the money that you've made, and now teach them the things that you did? And what is so potent about that for me is that just think about when this book was written. This book was written a long time ago. And I'm inspired that back then, as people do now, is that they pass on the information, and the information that has worked for them, the theory that they have learned, and also put a lot of experience on the table. And that's inspired me to put multiple property courses together and share my journey on my YouTube channel, so that I can at least touch people that I may never know, and I don't need to know, but at least I could motivate somebody to say, if that chick could do it and I seen her growth, why not me? Welcome to my channel. My name is Genevieve Stafford Jack. If you are new here, I'd love to welcome you. I'd like to invite you to hit the subscribe button, the notification bell, so that you're notified every time I upload a video. And if you're returning, I trust that you've already done that. Yes, to me, sharing and just really putting my heart out there. And I want to tell you this one story. Over time, I realized that there will be people that say, oh, you only teach because methods don't work for you. But I learned that the hard way after running away from what I find is a lot about my purpose in life, about sharing my experiences and those things that helped me overcome and eventually got me into a space of winning within property. You know, creating a property course is not the simplest thing. There's so much information out there. Everyone has got a flavor of what it is that they are teaching. But I usually recommend to anyone that is following me, and my students as well, first connect to the people that you are following. Understand that from the free stuff that they give, can you go out there and make a difference in your life for where you are? Because if you can, then that person, I believe, is then noteworthy to follow and mimic. Because just think about it. Who wants to go out there and follow somebody that only gives motivation, right? And then when you get to the actual doing and you think, and that's just my qualifying criteria about how I follow people, how I'm inspired by people, and how I'm inspired to actually do some of the work that interests me. You know, there's a lot of coaching stuff that I do that I learn from others, right? And it's not that I do to be known, but I do to first make me better. And if I make me better, and I can apply those things that makes me better, then by default, there are certain things I don't even have to say that my students will be able to see, hey, she's a bit different in this avenue. So who are you after? Why is it that you are following person after person after person within the space that you are so passionate about, yet you're not moving an inch? And these are some of the hard-hitting questions I thought that I'd be able to throw out there with this question that came to me about why do you put property courses together? What is so important about a property course? And a property course is not just some sort of secret magic sauce. It's really what I find for me in my world is having found information, making it better with the flavor of how I've been able to overcome, and letting my students go out there and test it. But before you even do that and become a student, can you do that with my free content? Because that for me is the biggest thing. Because if you can do that with my free content, well, you obviously know that you're going to 10x if you have to make an investment in the space that you are and continue with any of the property courses that I do offer. And that is just me putting my life out there and sharing with you that you too can make it better. What are the things that you are good at, that somebody looks up to you for, that you can set an example to the next person? I don't say go out there and create that course, but I'm just saying, what are you doing different to others that have come before us? Here's a quick story, right? I always look at this. Many of us want to leave legacy. How many people have left legacy and inheritance to their children? Their children squander it. By the time it reaches the next generation just touches the surface of what actually was there, and then they start working hard to make things better for their children. What I find is that oftentimes we have these ideals and we want to leave all these beautiful things for our children, but we are ill-equipped on teaching our children how to. I know that every time we are recording or we in a live stream or we in a training, my daughter says, Mummy, why every time Daddy says, yeah, this is your boy TJ from M5 Property Addicts, why do you keep saying, follow people that are actually doing the work? She quotes the stuff that we do. Then I share with her and I say, you know what, baby girl, I want to leave it better than what I found it. I want to know that if, God forbid, tomorrow a bus hits me, the proverbial bus hits me, that even if I do not leave millions and trillions for those around me, but could I leave an inspiration for those that felt stuck in their lives, for those that felt like, I don't want to keep going, for those that felt like, you know what, there's just, too much debt, I can't get away from here. For those that actually feel claustrophobic for where they are, could I leave some sort of motivation for them to move from one place to another? And that is why I love teaching within property. I love teaching within software testing. I love teaching within business analysis. And imagine this, I love sharing with those that are growing their YouTube channel how you can do some small different things differently. And mainly just saying, be committed and be consistent in uploading videos. Whether your videos gets 10 views, 100 views, 100,000 views, but just make every video with everything that is in you. I don't have a channel as yet that is bringing in money, but I'm able to see from where I was a year ago to where I am. I'm able to do the videos differently. I'm able to do it better. I'm able to inspire others. Heck, I've even gotten to a point where I actually manage another channel that has been monetized. But I don't just sit here and say, I want to be monetized. I get to a point of saying, what could I do to get to a point of being monetized? That's one. But what am I leaving as a footprint on my YouTube channel to say, maybe that is noteworthy information, whether it's monetized or not. So I really believe that in different aspects and where I am, the things that I'm doing, the side hustles that I have, how during COVID, I learned to predominantly be online because the wholesaling world just got turned upside down, particularly for me, because there was all sorts of how people were doing stuff that I was like, this is not principally sitting with me very well, until we were able to move down to the lower levels where I was able to be mobilized again and go out there and keep hitting my head or keep learning or keep closing deals. So I wonder what it is that you after, and what sort of legacy do you want to leave behind with the small things that you do in your life?